Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Salisha Thomas, and y'all, we got a superstar on the line today. He's a very special and wildly unique soul. I got to meet him. I'm already getting off my notes already. I got to meet him a few months ago at Podfest, and we shared a space sparingly. But even when the times that I got to spend with him in the room, I learned that he is brave, he's transparent, he is so genuinely friendly and kind and talented and open. And oh my God, does he have a story? I hope we have time to get into some of it today, but he has got quite a story. Let's see here. He was our final keynote speaker at Podfest, this huge event, the one that I met my husband at a couple years ago. He is a TEDx speaker, a celebrity pro athlete. He's the co-founder of Spin New York. What is his sport of choice? Y'all, it is ping pong. He's played for the USA in over 35 pro tour competitions. And when I tell you, he can kick your butt on a tennis table with his eyes closed, hand behind his back, playing with a cell phone instead of a paddle. I am not kidding you. You guys, please put your hands together and help me welcome pro athlete and businessman, Wally Green. Welcome, Wally.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
Where are you?
I'm actually home now, just kind of like relaxing a little bit, doing some social media stuff.
What coast are you on? I'm in New York. I know we met in Florida. What coast are you on?
I'm in New York City now.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Because you're opening up a new club here.
Yeah, new one. Yeah, in September.
And you told me a little bit about it when I saw you in person, but can you refresh my memory?
Yeah. So we have these clubs. They're called Spin. So depending on what city they are in. So like Spin New York, Spin Chicago, Spin Philly, Spin DC, Spin Seattle. So we have a bunch across the country, and we're opening up another one in Times Square, which is like an amazing location.
Yeah, it's Times Square.
The Spin Times Square location, Spin 3.0. So the design of it's going to be really futuristic. I've seen the 3D rendering already, so it's going to be really good.
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like you don't fit in any box. You are completely out of the box.
Yeah.
You smash every stereotype.
Yeah.
And you're out here in these streets doing big things. And I don't know like how I got to hear your keynote speech at Podfest, and oh my gosh, Wally, you like went there. Would you like, I know we don't have like hours and hours.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Would you like to give our listeners just so that we can see the journey of where you came from and where you are now and where you're going? Because the ascension is it is exponential growth. To me, that is the goal of life. Started from the bottom, now we here. How do we get from here to here? And you are living that. So can you catch us up on a little bit of your background and where you came from?
Yes, definitely. I grew up in the projects with a very narcissistic, abusive stepfather who used to beat up my mom and me every day, and used to tell me that I would be useless, I'd be in jail, I'll never amount to anything, I'll never be successful, I'd be a failure. I mean, every possible thing that you could tell a little kid, my stepfather used to tell me. And when he told me these things, he didn't really tell me these things out of anger, right? They were systematically meant to break me down and keep me down, because my stepfather was also what's the word I'm looking for? He was oh my God, I can't think of the word. Oh man, he was illiterate. He
Oh.
illiterate, so he couldn't read, he couldn't write. But what he was really good at was carpentry. Like he was a master carpenter, and because he was a master carpenter, he was able to get through life, you know. And hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm back.
All right. I just paused it while you walked away.
All right. So where did I leave off?
Your stepfather was a master carpenter.
Yeah. So he was illiterate, but he was a master carpenter, and he was able to get by because of that. And he would systematically try to break us down break me down by saying, you know, all these things, but not out of anger. Like, you know, I would come home from school, he would say, "So how was your day today?" And I would say, "Oh, my day was good." And then he would say, "Well, it doesn't matter how good it was because you're always going to be a failure." Right. So he's trying to program my brain to believe that I was going to be a failure, right? To make himself feel good about him being illiterate. So these are the things that I grew up, you know, with. And because of that, the abuse, I started, you know, in a gang at an early age by 13. By 13, I already owned 6 guns at 13 years old. So I
Wow.
was going through, I was going through a crazy, really crazy time in my life. You know, there came a situation where like, you know, I almost killed my stepfather, and then almost my mom for sticking up for him, for me protecting her. So it
Wow.
was always a crazy childhood that I grew up with. And in the balance of it, you know, I found sports, you know. So I had the gang life, I had sports would numb me to what was going on at home, right? Because with the sports, you know,
Yeah.
I practice early in the morning, then I'd practice, I'd go to school all day, then practice in the evening. By the time I got home, I was kind of like tired and just numb to the craziness going on at home. But
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, a couple questions. I guess my first question is what, like when you were that little kid and being told those negative things on a daily basis, like when did you realize w- what he was doing? It seems like you're very clear about it now.
Oh, I actually never realized what he was doing until now, until this, you know, until the pandemic. So after the pandemic, when I started
Wow.
to get onto Clubhouse and just started going into these rooms and narcissistic rooms and what narcissism is about, and then until I started telling my story over and over and over and over and again and over and over, and then everything started clicking. The more I told the story, the more I started to understand about what I was going through.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and then also, do you remember that first moment of sports being introduced to you? Or if there was a person who you were like, I want to be like him or her,
Oh man.
or what sport it was?
So my first sport ever was basketball. That was a sport that I played, but that sport I played as a little kid, right? So I played in basketball as a little kid, but I think the first time where sports was very influential in my life was probably um around the time when I was going through things really hard. So probably like maybe junior high school and the beginning of high school.
And
And
what
then
sports were those?
basketball. So I played basketball, tennis, volleyball, wrestling, and what else? Basketball, tennis, volleyball, and wrestling. So those are the sports. And football. So those are the sports I played in school, and I played every sport as a means to not be home. So the more sports I
Wow.
played, the less time I would spend actually being at home, right? Because we had games, we had
Yeah.
practices. So I would just join every sport that I could join, not because I really loved the sport, but because it would keep me out of the house longer.
Right.
So
So
that's why,
wait,
yeah.
another question, because I'm like, you are literally like, this is the best. I think the success of where you started. You said you owned 13 guns by the time you were, or how many? 6 guns
Yeah,
by the time you were 13?
yeah,
Were you in a gang?
yeah.
how did you choose? Like, did you ever feel a pull of, do I go hang out with my friends in this gang, or should I go play basketball with these people, or was it intermixed? Like, how did you get pulled over to the other side?
Yeah, so it was both. It was a balance. That was the balance, right? So being in the gang is where I got the sense of family, right? Where I got the sense of the false
Mm,
love, right? Because when you're in a gang, it's you feel like it's your family, and at times it's your family, but it's family with a reason, right? no
mm,
one no one loves you or really cares about you because you're this great person, right? They love you and care about you because what you can do for them, right? Because
mm.
when it's time to go down, you're going to pick up your gun or whatever you're going to do, they know that you got their back, and that's why they love you. So it's not an unconditional love like how we say with family, right? So that's where I got that quote unquote love from, right? But then I needed the numbness, which I didn't get from that, right? That just kind of just made me more violent, and I needed to be tired, right? I needed
Yeah.
to go home and be too tired to be angry, and the only way I could do that was by
Wise.
playing sports. So I played every sport in school and I trained every day, and I was always passionate, and I used sports, to make me tired. By the time I got home, I was kind of exhausted, and I was just numb to what was going on. It's almost like it wasn't happening, right? So that's why I
Wally.
played sports.
That is, I mean, of course you've got, it's like such a specific thing that you're talking about, but even I feel like that is relatable. In terms of like when the pandemic started, I had so much anxiety, and I don't consider myself an anxious person, but I did in 2020. And the only way to get my mind off of it was if I was constantly working out. Wow.
Right, right.
So
Because
then,
because that's your mental, at work, and then that's your physical at work, and then you're just tired. When I went home, a lot of times it would help because I
yeah,
was tired. He would say things, and I'm just too
you're
tired
like, I
to
don't
listen
care.
to it. Like I just couldn't even listen to it.
Do you remember the day where you felt like I am now energetically on a new course?
Let me see. Trying to see the exact thing. Um, like energetically, like
Energetically, like you're like, you know what? I'm gonna leave gang life behind, or actually I'm gonna pursue being a professional freaking athlete. Like, to me, that
yeah,
seems like very different energies.
yeah. So I think it came when I found, of course, when I found the sport of ping pong, but it that wasn't the idea of it because I actually didn't like ping pong. They had it in my high school. I used to make fun of kids playing the sport all the time. I actually didn't like this sport. Like I was like, this is not even a sport. But man, I'm trying to think of energetically because that's a different kind of question. Um, I'm gonna say after I started to travel the world and playing for the US team. I think it was then. Like once I started, because when I first learned ping pong, someone wanted to save my life and they helped me and they paid for me to go to Germany to learn, right? But that wasn't energetically as you speak, because even though I was in Germany, I was still this violent kid that hated everyone. So
Mm.
it didn't matter, right? I was still this violent kid that still didn't like people and wanted to be violent. So um Germany wouldn't be it. But I think after I started actually playing around the world, when I got my Rockstar Game sponsorship and I was playing around the world, then that's when I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
It's really like astonishing to me when you talk about the stories of when you were young or even just being violent, because Wally, I don't I don't get that from you at all. Like every time I hear you speak or I'm talking to you, I've never felt like any sense of danger, like ever. Like even on the dance floor, you're so gentle. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's why I'm so fascinated with where you started and where you are now, because not only that, you're an amazing speaker. Seeing you on the stage get up there and tell your truth is not something everybody can do. So I'm really interested in figuring out, how did you figure this out? How did you figure it out? Was there a time when you were touring the world when it clicked in, wait a minute, I'm doing this? Or was it only until after?
I think that moment came. It's actually a funny story, right? Because when I first started being a pro, I was probably the worst pro in the world. Like I was by far the worst pro in the world. I was getting beat by every single person. I mean, it was horrible. Like I would travel from America to China to Germany to Korea, all over the world, and I would get destroyed, like so bad, right? And I think the moment that you talk about came one day. I was in China. I was playing for USA in China, and I noticed that they were putting me on the TV table a lot. And normally in a preliminary round is the first group round, right? So only the top player will come out and go to the first round, right? And they kept putting me on the TV table. Like they would put 2 preliminary matches. No one, put it like this, it's very difficult to get your match on a TV table, right? It's very hard
Okay.
to do that, right? We're talking about the first round, second, third. It's very hard to get a TV table. In a preliminary round, it's almost impossible. And I was getting the TV table for 2 matches in the preliminary round, which didn't make sense. And so I went to the organizers in China and I said, hey, why do you guys keep putting me on a TV table? Just put me on a normal table. I don't need to be on a TV table, because I was getting my ass kicked, right? I
Oh,
was getting my ass kicked, right? And so the guy said something very interesting. He goes, Wally, no, you should stay on the TV table. You are good for TV. That's the exact words. And I was like, good for
oh,
TV. Oh, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. I don't have to be the best player in the world, right? Because I'm already the most flashiest player in the world, right? I already bring this swag that no one else has in the world, right?
right.
So I was like, you know what? That's it. I just need to be me. I don't need to be number 1 in the world, right? Only Chinese can be number 1, but I just need to be me. And by being me, that's more important than anything else. And then that's when I figured it out. I was like, oh shit, I got something that every other top player in the world does not have. I have that swag. I have that interesting factor that no one has. And I use that,
Wow.
right, instead of looking and chasing a number 1 dream that was impossible.
Oh my God. That is one of the most important realizations I think a human can have, is that being yourself is enough.
Yes, 100%.
And so with that, I feel like, okay, how many businesses have you started now?
Well, 1, but we have 9 locations.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You've got, and so to have these 9 different locations and to be at the forefront of that, I would imagine that you take up space. You are in a space that is predominantly white quite often. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah, 100%.
And so how do you navigate predominantly white spaces when you are very Wally? You are
Hey,
very, very Wally.
listen. I'll tell you one thing. Um, I don't change who I am to be in those spaces. You know, just what you see from me is what you get, right? When you see me, you would never think that I was this extremely violent kid, right?
Right.
Until I get pissed off.
Uh-oh.
then you'll understand like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? So I've been able as an adult to control. Like people think that, you get out of that gang life and now you're changed and it just disappeared. Right? It doesn't disappear. It never disappears. It's with you forever. It's with you forever. Being shot at, shooting my gun, doing all this crazy stuff is always with me forever. It's always there. But as an adult, you have to control it, right? So I'm able to control it, right? And it's like, when I was younger, if someone would approach me in the wrong way, like there was no talk. There was no talk. Right? I wouldn't talk. You were gonna get hit, shot at, whatever. Now I can say, hey, listen, just leave it alone. It's not that serious. And I'm able to kind of just warn and try to get people to just chill, right? But I still do get angry sometimes, and when I get angry, it's not good. But I'm still able to control myself.
Do you ever get angry on the ping pong table?
Yeah, I do get angry, but not at my opponent, right? So I'm not a sore loser. I get angry at myself. Like I talk trash to myself at the same time. I'm like, you idiot, what are you doing? So I'm only talking to myself. And those are the kind of things that actually made me very popular in the world, right? Because I would just be talking to myself, come on, baby, let's go. And people are like,
what?
People are like, oh my God, like what's going on? But yeah. It's always in you. So I'm just able to control it and be an adult, right?
Okay, wait. How do you, because I'm asking also from a place of like, we both Black up in here, okay? And we had this conversation in like, in the 2020 when all the things were going down on the television, George Floyd and everything.
Yeah.
It was stuff that I had kept to myself for very many years, well, actually my whole life. And it's just one of those, we know it's a thing, but we don't say anything about it. So, but when you are in a room of no one that looks like you, like, what do you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders? So like, do you ever feel that responsibility or pressure of like, I'm the only Black person in here?
You know what's funny? So I don't feel that pressure now because when I was playing around the world, I was the only Black person.
Yeah.
Right. So there would be 200 people entered into a competition from around the world. And 9 times out of 10, I'd be the only Black person.
Right.
So I'm used to being at first, you know what's funny? It's funny. I'll tell you something very, very funny. So I used to get angry when another Black person showed up.
No, you did not, Wally.
Yeah, I did. I tell you why. Because I tell you why. When another Black person came to, let's say if someone came from, let's say France or Africa, if an African person came, or any other country that had a Black player, I would be tight. Because you know why I'd be tight? I'll tell you why I'd be tight. Because being the only Black player, I was the star. All eyes was focused on me. Like everything was focused on me. The media was on me. Everything was on me. And if another Black person came,
it split.
This guy's coming to take my thunder. And most likely that Black person that would have came was probably better than me anyway, right? So because remember when I first started, I was like the worst pro. So if there was another Black pro, maybe from Africa, he was way better than me. So that means, damn man, not only does he have the Blackness, he also has the skill better than me. So I would get tight. I would get so tight, not being the only Black person at the tournament. So it was really funny.
My gosh. I feel like, but you talk about like not being the best a lot.
Yeah.
Did that changed, right? Like I feel like I watched you play and whip I mean, obviously you're pro and we're not, but you whipped everybody's butt in that conference center with a cell phone. You didn't even have a paddle. Wally, like when did you get so good?
I tell you, I got better when I changed my mindset.
Tell me more.
I went into this sport with the wrong mindset, right? Because I was a great athlete. Every sport I ever played, I was MVP. Every sport. I was the best on my team, every sport. And I went into this sport with that mindset. I'm the best. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be number one. I'm going to be the world champion, right? And there's something, and I like to talk about this a lot. There's something that they tell us in school, and they teach us this, and it's not true. It's really not true. They tell kids that you can be anything you want. That is not true. You can be anything within reason, right? Saying you can be anything at all, it's just not true. If you're 3'4", you're not going to be on the NBA. I don't care how good you are, it's not happening. It's not happening, right? Not happening. 3'4", not happening, right? Right?
Yeah.
If you can't swing a bat, you're not playing for professional baseball league, right? It's not happening.
Okay,
right?
fair.
If you're 25 years old and you've never played basketball in your life and you have a dream to go to NBA, it's not happening.
Okay.
25.
I see what you're getting at. Yes.
See what I'm getting at? So for me to think that I was going to be number one in the world, I just started playing this sport. I'm 17, 18 years old, right? Was not likely. And because I was thinking that I was going to be number one, because I was thinking I was the best, I wasn't learning, right? I was not learning. I would go and I would lose, and I'd be angry that I lost, right? Because I'm supposed to be the best and I'm supposed to be number one, right? So I was putting all this pressure on myself, right, to win, and I was losing, right? And I was losing badly. Like, game goes to 11 points. I wouldn't get 5 points in 4 games.
Oh,
okay. To get 5 points in 4 games, you just need 1 in every game, plus 1 more somewhere else. And I wasn't getting that, right?
Oh, shoot.
So exactly, because I had all this pressure on myself to be the best, to be number one. And then I went through a mindset change because it started to become embarrassing. People started saying, why are you even playing this sport? You should be rapping or playing basketball.
Oh, shoot. People said that?
Well, what? Of course. Everyone said that. You gotta remember, like, and this is where being the only Black player playing these pro tours, like, people would tell me, you should be playing basketball or you should rap. Why are you playing this? Right? And so I had to go through a mindset change, and I had to figure out, how can I get better? What can I do to get better? Right? And the first thing was realizing that I actually needed a mindset change. Whoa. Right? And I said, okay, Wally, the goals that you're making are impossible. And that's a problem with a lot of people. We make these goals that are not possible, but we continue to chase them. And we continue to chase these goals, making the same mistakes, not thinking why we're failing. And we just keep failing, and it's a freaking cycle. And then the excuse is, it's my goal and I'm chasing it. Listen, not everything is for everybody. You might think it's for you, but maybe that's not for you, right? But because people program their minds to believe that, it's my goal, it's my dream, I gotta do it, I'm gonna do it. And they do it without actually thinking why they're failing. So that's what I was doing, right? Because my goal was to be number one in the world, right? Which was an unlikely goal. And I was just chasing that goal. So I said, you know what? Mindset change. What can I do to get better? Forget about being number one. Number one's not important now. Performing, not looking like an idiot every time you get on court is way better. Right? How do you not look like an idiot?
How do you not look like an idiot?
Right. Because
Wally!
So that's what I had to do. So then I said, okay, I got it. I came up with a great plan. I said, first of all, what you need to do is get 5 points in one game. There's 4 out of 7 games make a pro tournament. Just get 5 points out of one game. If you get 5 points out of one game, you're the champion of the world. And I made myself believe this. So I would get 5 points in one game, and I would go,
yeah, just so happy.
Jump up and scream, right? And run around and be crazy. And people would look at me like I was mad.
Oh my God.
I lost 4-0. I lost 4-0, right? They're like, why is this guy happy? He just lost. But what they didn't understand was that I made a goal that actually made sense, right? And I made a smaller goal, a small goal, right? That I could achieve and
Yeah.
make sense. And the most important things about these small goals, smart goals, whatever you want to call them, is celebrating. The celebration is very important. If you achieve the smallest of goals, you have to celebrate it, because if you celebrate it, it gives you motivation, inspiration to take that next step for the next one. And what was the next one? Okay, I got 5 points in one game. Let me get 5 points in 2 games. Let me get 5 points in 3 games.
Yes.
Okay, now I need to get 5 points every single game. And when I did that, I would celebrate. And there's a reason why the whole world of this sport knows me. People thought I was crazy because I was losing 4-0, but they didn't know that I made goals to myself that made sense and I celebrated them.
Wow.
Went from 1 game, 2 games, 3 games to actually winning a match, right?
Which must have felt
Oh,
freaking great.
listen. It was crazy. It was crazy. When I won my first game, I literally jumped on the table. People thought like this guy's lost his mind.
Oh my gosh. I'm like excited for you that journey of I just want a point.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by the you can do anything, right? Anything is such a broad thing. I think it should be you can do anything within reason. Things that make sense, right? Because anything means anything. So I can tell you I can do anything. I can jump off this 8-story building, land on the floor, and get up and walk away. No, you can't. No, you can't. Right. So that's what I mean by when they say anything. And that's what happens to us as people. Like with me, like, I started the sport at a late age. 17, kids start this sport at 3.
Ping pong?
At 3 in China, at 3 in
Of
Japan,
course, yeah.
Korea, at 3 years old. This is when they start with the paddle. I started at 17. Actually, in China, when you're 17, you're almost getting older.
Wow.
Yeah, in China, 17. In China, if by 17 you should be winning like major competitions, major ones. Yeah, by 17, 18. Yep, you should.
Okay. So wait, I would like to know, because I saw something on your page. What is the spin challenge?
Oh, the spin challenge.
Yeah.
Which one though? Because there's 2. There's one that I did. You mean the one I posted?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or it's
so
like your link in your Instagram.
yeah. So what that is, that's for a charity that I did. Some like I like supporting any charities that have to do with children. And
Yeah.
so we got asked to do this, and another person who also works with us had contacted me and said, hey, we'd be interested in doing this spin challenge, spin for children and stuff like that, awareness. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I came up with an idea of what we could do in terms of spinning for children and stuff like that. And and that's what that was about.
I am glad that you shared that. And I'm also glad that you shared your story. I'm so inspired by you, Wally. You are completely out of this world and such a presence. And I can't wait until your new spin club
Awesome.
opens up in Times Square. You're like, it's a pretty good location. Yeah, duh. Times Square, New York City. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And so whenever that is later this year, 2023, like, I want to be there. I'm so excited for you. Before I let you go, what are you grateful for today?
Wow. Oh man, I am grateful that I am actually here to speak to you,
Right.
right?
Wow.
Because if if I never found this sport that I hated so much, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead or in jail, like my stepfather said, because that's the road I was heading down. So I will always be grateful for this sport, which saved my life, and the individual who helped me to get there.
Wow. And how can people find you? Follow you
Best way
on.
to find me now is on Instagram, Wally Green NYC. That's my more serious side, although once in a while I'll throw in some craziness. Yeah, and then on TikTok also, Wally Green NYC official. And that's for the crazy ping pong stuff.
Okay, I'm so here for that. I don't have a TikTok, but I'm like, let me get up on TikTok so I can like see all the things. Wally, thank you so much for spending the time with me. You are just such a gem of a human being and truly, like truly for real, an inspiration. And I'm so happy that I can look at you and just be one of many flies on the wall or peanut gallery to say you did prove your stepfather freaking wrong.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was wrong. He was freaking dead wrong
Yeah.
about you, and you've made something of yourself, something big of yourself. And like also thank you for representing the USA. Like that's a freaking big deal. So that just all the things. You're the bomb.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.